Hello and good morning, guys. My name is Prithu Parekh, and I'm representing Allen Global. And I welcome you all for this exciting and informative webinar today. With me has joined Mr. Sujain Kumar, sir. He's our senior country counselor, and he has helped hundreds of students to get admitted into top 200 universities of the world. Okay, so if I'm audible to everyone who has joined, if you can just write in the chat yes if I'm audible correctly or properly. If you can just give me a hi or yes in the chat box, so that yes. Okay, thank you so much. So let's begin with this thing. So just giving you a very so starting with the very brief about Allen Global. So Allen Global is helping students to get admitted into top universities of the world, top 200 universities of the world, for their undergraduate studies. Okay, and what majors, what universities we are taking is like, for example, MIT, Oxford, Harvard, Ivy Leagues, Russell Grad, these type of universities, because these universities requires a very good profile with that academics and non-academics, plus internships. There are many more things including. So today we are going to discuss about each and everything, but specifically about computer science program, because this is a course जो कि हर बच्चा आज के टाइम पे इंडिया में एआई हो गया, कंप्यूटर साइंस हो गया, ये चीज बड़ी ट्रेंड में है. सो टुडे सर इज गोइंग टू explain us about each and everything, going to in every detail about all these things. Okay, so and also about the briefs, like I mentioned about these top universities, we are also helping students to prepare for their tests like SAT, APs, IELTS, TOEFL, UCAT. UCAT is basically for medical students, but yes, this is one thing, right? So these are the tests which we help students to prepare for. We have courses for that. Okay, and if I'm going to say about this, then our classes, our services are totally online, but then also we have spread over India on few cities like yeah, someone has raised his hand. Okay, so I'll take this query later on, guys. Okay, so there are some centers like Kota, Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Mohali, Dehradun, Ahmedabad, Surat. So we have spread over all over the India. And why is this? Because like, our services are totally online. But then also, I guess it is necessary if someone near about these centers and cities having some doubts, so they can connect with our counselors and all. So that's how. So let's start with this webinar very quickly. So today we are going to discuss about computer science courses in top universities. I hand over this webinar to Mr. Sujain Kumar, sir. But today, so sir, I'll be a student, okay? Because I guess we are counseling for a very long time, and we have certain queries here which students usually ask us. They are common queries, right? So I'll be the student, Sujain sir. Okay, I'm having some queries related to studying abroad, top universities, these selection criterias and everything. Okay, so I'll represent these attendees. Okay. So I have some queries. I'll ask my queries, and you just brief us everything about these things and some details, expertise required. So my first query is that, sir, from the starting of this webinar, I guess from last 2 to 3 minutes, I've multiple times I've said about these things like top universities or things. So I just wanted to know that which are these top universities for computer science, because this is very I'm a student. Okay, I'm preparing for my engineering part. Okay, my STEM courses, right? So I just wanted to know that I know about the universities or options I'm having in India, but what about studying abroad? Because I'm not aware about anything. I'm not counseled. I'm not aware about much of the test, what test I have to take, what is the process part. So just if you can just let me know about the universities, which are the top universities for computer science program. Over to you, sir, please.
Sure.
Also share my screen for the audience help. 1 second, sir. I'm really sorry for that.
All right. So I think you can hear me. Perfect. Thank you. So good morning, everyone, and the panelists, right? So it's a very important question that you asked, right? So before that, I just want to give you a small hint on the selection of the country, since top university is one thing, but selecting the location is very important aspect of, going abroad. Since US has been always in the top because there is no competition for it. Reason behind of so many things. There are several factors for it. There's a historical advantage. They have a research facilities. They have a innovation, entrepreneurship, and investments. They have a lot of industrial, the companies established in the, back in the year of 1970, 1965. So they have that of industrial, the technology advancement right now. They have been, attracting the so many of talents, retention, retaining the so many of, the talented uh, engineers across globe. So they have that of government support and everything. So I'll not particularly talk about the US, since you have the screen where I can see that MIT, Cambridge, Oxford, Harvard, Caltech. So most of them, among all these, all five, I guess the 8 universities. So I'm sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five of them is from US, right? So it's very clear to understand. It's obvious for everyone that US, indeed, it's a big market for, the CS program and for the technology, especially for the technology. So I'll particularly not talk about US right now, but I'll give you the idea that what all the universities are available in the other locations. As I mentioned, couple of things, the reason behind why US is in top of, of all markets right now due to, the other these factors. Advantages are many, right? But considering to the universities and that too in the different location is something is completely either it's a the student's choice, or it depends to the the how much you can bear it out as for your expense for your study. So top university in US right now is MIT for computer science. Of course, it's a rank 1 and 2 college for computer science from the last 2-3 years. Carnegie Mellon, uh, it's the second, and the top 2 universities for computer science, just not for the undergrad subjects. It's for the masters also and for the relevant subjects also. Stanford is the another one. UCs are the top contender for it, right? UCs have that of 10 different, the campuses. The Berkeley, LA, San Diego, they have the top contender in it. And studying in these colleges are, or the uh, for the especially for the computer science, it's really fruitful for all students. We have that track, as you can see. We all have been sharing data. We all have been looking at to the their achievements, their the once they complete their graduation. We usually track their the records, and we found that these students have been really doing remarkably, the best in their industry. This is particularly because US is a big market. That's why I'm taking, 4 or 5 names of universities where we have been catering mostly, right? But apart from that, it's not something that only the US has that big names. Uh, Asian universities in Singapore you can find, right? In Japan you can find a couple of universities in Japan is there. That is also very good. Chinese universities are coming up right now in top, for computer science programs. But in the last 4-5 years, the Singapore universities, especially the NUS, NTU, these are in coming in the top universities in Asia for computer science. Ranking wise, you can see and take the reference of couple of, the top universities ranking. QS is one among them that everyone follows. The ranking for, Asian universities are gradually year by year on year, it's going up. NUS remarkably has that of rank 6th right now for computer science. So with low budget, with Asian setup, with the lot of not who and cry, generally it happens for the top universities. There you'll just have to focus on 1 or 2 things and you can crack the NUS, NTU kind of universities, and that too in the Asian, the environment. And there's no weather, the change, there's nothing as such change that will happen. And a lot of support is also given from the government. And that is what I was highlighting for the US, right? The government support. Similarly, it's given to the Asian country now. So NUS, NTU, Tokyo, bespoking kind of these universities are now being notable in the Asian market. Okay, so we'll surely talk about once the students will have that of very specific questions that what all the universities that a student can try in the Asian market. But right now, I can give you the glimpse of it that these are the best universities right now for computer science. In
Okay, sir.
European market, in the other markets, Oxford, Cambridge, kind of these universities are there, which is also good. Apart from that, ETH Zurich is, in Switzerland. It's one of the notable university right now in the European market.
Sir, I have one query. I got to know about these top universities. You mentioned many of them. You mentioned their specification, qualification, what range, what rankings they are holding. But जैसे कि मैं एक इंडियन स्टूडेंट हूँ, राइट? तो अभी मैं कंप्यूटर साइंस ड्रीम कर रहा हूँ, राइट? तो आई एम अवेयर अबाउट दैट like IIT Bombay, I have to give this JEE mains, JEE advanced, I have to crack. I am aware about these test preps, right? So अभी बाहर जाने के लिए what steps I have to take, what test I have to take, what are
Hmm.
some essential tests, what are the scores, which are good to get admitted into top universities, so that I can actually get this thing like okay, I can expect that I can get a good I can expect that I can get an offer letter from a good university, top 50, top 20, right? So इस पे थोड़ा सा बताइए ना कि किस तरह के टेस्ट कैसे आगे मूव करना चाहिए.
जैसे मैंने बताया कि सबसे पहले आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन सा कंट्री आपके लिए बेस्ट है। यदि आपको इसके बारे में सबसे पहले पता है कि कौन सी कंट्री बेस्ट है, आपके हर एक फिल्टर को देखते हुए, ऐसे नहीं कि मतलब सिर्फ एक फिल्टर है जो आपके लिए वर्क कर रहा है, दूसरा फिल्टर आपके लिए वर्क नहीं कर रहा है, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द फिल्टर्स आर। सो if I have a big, the giant background of, the computer science, and that too from the class 8, 9, 10th, 11th, I've been continuously doing so many things in computer science domain. So academically, you are sound, right? You might have, the really good scores in your, in your all academics, in your all standards, right? But the thing is, apart from that, you'll have to do so many exercises before you select any universities. And that is not restricted to the one thing. It's not that is why I mentioned filter, right? So you need to make your filter for it. First, the location. See, we cannot deny from the so many facts, right? The several factors are there that its impact to you, right, as a student, because uh, you have been not going abroad every time, right? आपको ये नहीं पता है कि आपको उस एनवायरनमेंट में जाकर किस तरह के लोग मिलेंगे। मे बी हो सकता है कि वो लोग डिफरेंट नेशनैलिटीज के हैं, डिफरेंट रेस के हैं, डिफरेंट रिलीजन के हैं, डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट्स को लेके आए हुए हैं, बट दे आर स्टडिंग कंप्यूटर साइंस, right? Different boards से हैं, different mindsets से हैं, and they're studying computer science there. So maybe you'll have a chance of diversifying yourself. You'll have that of chance to learn so many things out of these all factors. But applying to a first filter about location is very important to you to understand what all the top university it would be for your undergrad and for the masters, right? Uh, So location is the first filter for me, right? And how are you going to do that? By identifying your interest. That what exactly your interests are. Computer science में क्या पढ़ना है? Computer science एक छोटा domain नहीं है. Computer science is a big program. It's a big, it's a degree. So under that, there are so many majors, several electives, the major, I'll tell you that of around what I have come across, approximate 48 to 50 majors studying, at the undergrad level. And with the, other electives also, that too with the different domains collaboration. So identifying your interest, सीख है कंप्यूटर साइंस करना है, पैशनेट हो, बहुत कुछ किया है, बट कंप्यूटर साइंस में एग्जैक्टली क्या सब्जेक्ट है जो ज्यादा से ज्यादा तुम्हें लगता है कि मुझे इसमें फ्यूचर दिखता है। आई एम श्योर दैट यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज कि अभी फिलहाल आपको नहीं पता है कि एग्जैक्टली क्या करना होगा, बिकॉज जैसे मैंने बताया 50 डिफरेंट डोमेन्स हैं, मेजर्स हैं, ठीक है। डिपार्टमेंट क्या हो गया आपका, नेचुरल साइंस का, ठीक है। नेचुरल साइंस के अंदर में मैथमेटिक्स, फिजिक्स भी आते हैं सब्जेक्ट्स, कंप्यूटर साइंस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट। Computer science is not been offering by any engineering colleges, unlike Indian universities, they offers that in the uh, engineering, the department, right? So computer science is mainly offered by uh, the natural science or formal science department there in the United States, and in other cities also. In top-most city in English speaking countries, that is mostly oftenly I will say that been offered by the uh, formal science, so or natural science. सो नेचुरल साइंस के अंदर में बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो मैथ्स से रिलेटेड बहुत ज्यादा है, इंजीनियरिंग से नहीं है। तो आपको फोकस ये करना है, कंप्यूटर साइंस है तो मुझे मैथ्स पे फोकस करना होगा, मुझे फिजिक्स पे फोकस करना होगा, मुझे ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स पे फोकस करना है जो मेरा आगे जाकर कोई भी स्ट्रीम या डोमेन और भी हेल्प कर सकता है बिल्ड करने में। बिकॉज आप आज के दिनों में देखोगे तो मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर गोइंग फॉर AI, ML, data science, blockchain, right? And these all have a basic of mathematics. All right. So 80%, 70% of the mathematics you're going to study there. So you need to first to identify your interest, and that too with the all majors interest with the elective, for that you need to either do the research or to come to us to understand, what is the potential universities for you. It could be the Harvard, it could be the Stanford, it could be the MIT, it could be the Caltech, it could be the Georgia Tech, it could be the any of the names, right? So, but for that, you need to understand what is, because not all colleges are offering. Maybe that college is offering computer science, but that is not offering the AI subject as a major. So it will be ruled out for you, right? Because though it's a top-notch university, but it's not of your interest. It's not of your potential. I'm good at, mathematics, but I want to be an AI engineer in the future. Why should I study 10 different electives जिसका मुझे कोई इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है? जब इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो उसको पढ़ाई करने से फायदा नहीं, और वैसे यूनिवर्सिटीज आपके लिए कोई फायदा नहीं करेंगी। सो फाइंडिंग द यूनिवर्सिटीज एज पर द इंटरेस्ट कुड बी द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट आई फील इट, दैट कुड बी द फर्स्ट फिल्टर फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड, एंड दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ एनी स्टूडेंट्स। दे शुड अंडरस्टैंड कंप्यूटर साइंस में आगे क्या करना है। कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। कंप्यूटर साइंस में मैं बताऊंगा आपका इंटरेस्ट क्या है, कि आप उस सब्जेक्ट्स में क्या जा सकते हो। तो जनरल मैथमेटिक्स, जनरल कंप्यूटर साइंस में सब्जेक्ट्स आप यू कैन गो फॉर इट। एंड मेजरली व्हाट वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट कि नहीं यार ये तो मास्टर्स का सब्जेक्ट्स होता है सर, मेजर तो मास्टर्स में पढ़ते हैं। अंडर ग्रेड में भी अब आपको मेजर माइनर के बहुत सारे अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं दैट यू कैन कवर। So that is first thing that I'll give you suggestion. Apart from that, understanding the admission requirement, of course, you have to have your good academics, right? Good your good in your scores in your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Standardized tests like SAT, ACT, APs, these has to be good, right? This score are now the last year. This year would be the last year where the universities have been like giving that an optional requirement for the most of the students, right? For this year, for 2025, I'll say. From next year onwards, SAT will be a mandatory requirement that it was back in the year of 2020 or pre-COVID. So SAT would be a big requirement, where the MIT kind of universities, even the Stanford, right? That they don't have the requirement of and they give that a waiver, but they have a star mark in the, in the note area, that they'll not entertain the profile if your score in the standardized test, especially the SAT, is lower than the 1570. It's very clearly, like give that signal that if a score is low and still you're thinking to apply to the Stanford, your chances would be low. But yeah, there are multiple factors. There's not one factor that the standardized test will be the sole factor of the decision. There will be the other factors where you could do something better and offset your SAT score, or can do something better in in the other part of the component of the application to get the admission in these colleges. Of course, since our language is not English, so IELTS or TOEFL will be required. But yeah, if your score is good in SAT, you could have a chance to get that waiver from some colleges also. Uh, Academics has to be good. If your academics are not good, your aim for applying to these colleges will be a dream for you. So you need to focus on that. Since I think like most of the students nowadays, they have been working very hard to do something non-academically also. So activities point of view, you need to also, top on these all activities. So you should participate. It's not a era where you were not saying that, you're just a bookworm, right? you just need to just do good in your academics and you'll crack the admission. No, it's not something like that. You'll have to take up the opportunity to go for the leadership roles to strengthen your profile, because as I mentioned, there are multiple factors where you can do good. You could be a good like good Kathak, the dancer. You could be the kabaddi player at the state level, or at the other levels also. That will be playing a vital role, I'm telling you, in the good universities, because most of the groups, as you know, that Ivy has a root of, the league has a root of, uh, that sports only, right? So they have a big quota for it. They have a soft corner for it, that if students are coming with these backgrounds, they'll give the offer to them, and they'll offset the other requirements if the students are doing something good in the different domains. So building the profiles by doing the all these, the things could surely help us. I'm telling you, will surely help you to get in the any of the top universities very easily. So profile is good or bad is something that you will not decide. But yeah, if you're not making up your profile in your 11th and 12th, then your profile is not strong. Because at that point of time, you're doing so many things to build your profile, and that is what is where the universities look at to those part. Building a strong relation with the teacher, mentors, with the sports teacher would be a really, a 10% of your 20% of your weight of the application would give you the 20% weightage. So LOR is the 10%, 20%. कुछ universities में 30% भी मिल जाता है. So building that of a strong relationship with the teachers and getting that of, the help from them, helping them right from their 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, where you're studying, and getting a good recommendation letter. Though we help preparing the recommendation letter, we help the child to, like edit their recommendation letter. But yeah, having that of, the connection, a good connection would really be helpful in getting in these colleges very easily. Uh, I cannot take you the all different components, highlights what I can, otherwise it would be a very lengthy session. But yeah, these are the highlights I'll say where you can do so many things to prepare your profile. And rest of the things we can go on one-on-one where we can understand about what exactly we can cover.
तो ओके सर, आई गॉट योर पॉइंट. बट जैसे अपन आपने कहा कि हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं, वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर फॉर आवर एकेडमिक्स, नॉन एकेडमिक्स, लाइक यू मेंशन सम ऑफ द स्पोर्ट्स कि आपको एक लेवल तक आप खेले हैं, एवरीथिंग इन्वॉल्व्स, एंड एवरीथिंग इज कंबाइंड, आपको एक साथ ये प्रेजेंट करनी है. बट व्हाट इज द फैक्ट कि जब हम एप्लीकेशन करते हैं कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी में तो हम लोगों को क्या क्या चीज़ें चाहिए होती हैं, what is the things, what documents, what are the processes which are involved, कैसे हम इसको आगे लेके जाते हैं, if you can just highlight on that part. क्योंकि ये तो I got to know that these are some tests, this is the process, this is a university, but now what next, what documents, where we have to submit those documents, you can just let me know.
Sure. सो पृथु, सबसे पहले जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स चाहिए होते हैं, जैसे हमने आईएलटीएस के लिए बुक किया है या टॉफल के लिए बुक किया है, तो हमें सबसे पहले जो है प्रिपरेशन ही स्टार्ट किया है, तो सबसे पहले हमें पासपोर्ट चाहिए होता है. यदि हमने आईएलटीएस के लिए भी बुक करना है तो पासपोर्ट चाहिए होगा आपको. दे हैव स्टार्टेड एक्सेप्टिंग आधार कार्ड एंड सम अदर द थिंग्स आल्सो राइट नाउ. बट इफ यू गोइंग अब्रॉड, द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट यू शुड हैव दैट ऑफ वैलिड पासपोर्ट. मेक श्योर, बिकॉज क्या होता है कि कुछ बच्चों के होते हैं कि 4, 4th ईयर में, 5th ईयर में, 6th ईयर में, 4 साल के, 5 साल के, 6 साल के, उस समय उनका पासपोर्ट बना होता है. तो पासपोर्ट सिर्फ बना होना इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, अपडेटेड होना और उसकी वैलिडिटी होनी एटलीस्ट ऑफ द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द प्रोग्राम. दिस इज व्हाट आई रेकमेंड. इट शुडंट बी ऑफ 6 मंथ, बिकॉज 6 मंथ के बाद फिर तो आप सेम प्रोसेस में जाओगे. The better is that you should have that of valid passport at least for the 10 years, because once you'll upgrade your passport, you will get the validity, and next it will be extended to the next 10 years. So passport you should have that of authentic passport, updated, fresh one. When you're submitting your application, you'll have to scan your front, the bio pages, front and back. and it has to be uploaded on the portals everywhere, wherever we'll do the applications. Okay. Since academic, because we are doing the application for, this is an academic application, so we need to have that of all the previous documents, all previous academic documents, right from your 9th, 10th, irrespective to the location you're applying to, whether you're applying to Singapore would not have that of 10th, 9th requirement, but yeah, they'll have that of 10th mark sheet requirement, 10th certificate requirement, 11th mark sheet requirement, 12th predicted one will work for, almost all countries. You can still submit your application for Singapore because Singapore universities have a deadline of January and February. So you can submit your application with the 12th predicted mark sheet, right? Some of the school here in India, they don't have that of prediction wala process. ठीक है, तो हाफ ईयरली लेते होंगे, तो हाफ ईयरली सबमिट कर सकते हैं और उनका वो एप्लीकेशन सबमिट हो जाएगा. तो but yeah, some of the universities, they give the decision on the base of your predicted scores. Some of them wait for the decision. Okay, but that is of course not UK and US and Canada, because these countries, they understand that you have a really good background, and that is why they are asking you to submit your 9th, 10th, 11th score, right? So they see the progression. So I'm trying to eliminate all the, the quick question of yours, so that you can you easily get that idea that if it is a question of any of your students, it get eliminated by these all answers. Still, if anyone would have that of very specific question, they can just type in the chat box and we can take it later also. SAT score, since we are targeting to the, universities for admission purpose, and we know that fact that of SAT score is very important, the document, then I don't think that leaving that, the SAT score undue for the next round would be a wise decision of any of one of yours. So SAT score, it is not been just uploaded because it has to be reported by you by using the account, right? By using the official account of SAT and TOEFL. Similarly for IELTS, right? As I mentioned, you need to have that of 2 and 3 letter. That should be the 3 LORs, because you're having of 2 subjects. One, from the, from your the other one, right, from your counselor, principal, right? So any of them you can get it. So 3 letter of recommendation generally we ask, but yeah, if you're submitting application, let's say the offline for a couple of colleges, then in that case, most of the universities have that of no offline applications. All of them had of the online applications, but still you get it the letter of recommendation on the letterhead. So generally the referees get that option to either to upload or to copy and paste. So it's completely their choice that what way they do that. But yeah, still if you get it that of on the official letterhead, for your future references, you just keep your copy with you. But it shouldn't be of 2 letter of recommendation. It should be the minimum 3, because some of places that have 2 letter of recommendations required. Canada have that of 2 letter of recommendations required. Australia doesn't ask for any of the recommendations. So these are the documents requirement. I'll say that these are the primarily required documents for the submission purpose. Later on, maybe the university will request for more documentation, but not at this point of time. So these documents will be required. Apart from that, some universities, because these are the documents, right? But the SOP, the essays will be there for Common App. If you're applying to the universities in US, the Common App essays are there, right? So you'll have to write your one essay for all applications. So MIT has a separate application. Similarly, the UCs have a different application, their own portal for it, right? So every documentation will be separate. But these are the common, I'll say, the standard documents that you just keep it ready for yourself for the application purpose. And the other documentation there, AGSD is easily supporting all childs.
Okay, got it, sir. I got the technicality of studying abroad, documentation part, test prep part. But coming back to my first step, now finances, because जब मैं अगर मैं चूंकि मैं एक एवरेज मिडिल क्लास फैमिली से बिलोंग करता हूँ, so when I'm thinking and I'm planning about studying abroad or I'm getting counseling for you, तो मैं ये समझना चाह रहा था, I wanted to know that कि how will I manage my finances over there? Because that is because if I'm like, for example, I'm trying for USA computer science course, right? So the country is different, currency is different, okay. So and the expenses obviously is different, okay. So how will I manage my finances over there? Are there any scholarship available? Because मेरे लिए important है कि मैं कोई एक scholarship भी लूँ, मेरे को already कुछ मिल जाए. So if you can just let me know about the finances, how you guide students, मतलब आप बाकियों को कैसे बताते हैं कि जब आप finances कैसे manage करते हैं, So if you can just give me a very brief about that, कि how can I manage in future, like how students like me they can do that, if you can just.
Okay. See, financials is something that you'll have to understand on the very first stage of the counseling. Uh, so there are three kind of students generally come to us, right? The one is where they don't have the first student where they need of complete support, right? Uh, so they go for the universities where the need-based counselings, the need-based scholarships are available. So they go for those kind of the counseling, right? That is first. The second kind of the students, when they have that of certain support from their parents and they can manage their some financials, right? For let's say you said that you fall in that category. So you have that of, some support from family, some support you want it from the university, and you also don't want to, like go for the any random colleges, right? Because selection of the college, that something is based on these all criteria. And one of the best filter, I'll say, one of the filter and the important filter is financial. If you're not been able to, like take the burden of the financials for the 1 year, 2 years, because it's a 4 year program. It's not that of 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years, where you can easily, like get that support from the any bodies, right? You will have to get that support from your parents. You'll have to get that support from the third party. You will have to get that support from the school officials. And similarly, in that way, you can just you can come, like go ahead with your uh, managing your financials. Important point is that uh, when you have some support and when you're saying that you have certain support you're seeking from the college, there you go for the merit scholarships. Okay. And the third one is when the student is having, the not having any crunches, right? And their parents are very, they easily can, like take all the expenses on their shoulders. So uh, the first student is for them, yes, of course, for them, the universities are available. Selection of the universities is very important for us. For that, if they're not been able to manage anything, still they can apply with their good background, right? AGSD itself is helping students to improve their background and their profile so that they can just not try for the admission, they get the admission from those colleges, right? That is first. Second is when you have that of certain budget in your, from your side, the support, and then you are saying that you're looking for it. Certain, I'll tell you that 100 plus colleges are available for international students and they can easily manage it by applying to the good universities. I told you that first point is that what is top for you is something you will define, right? See, if I have to go for the AI, but AI is not available in Harvard, why? Harvard would be the top university for me. It would not be the top university for me, right? It would be just the simple name for me, which can just give me additional badge on additional badge on my resume, right? That's it. I'll take a logo of it, like on my shoulder that I have a Oxford, the degree. But how it is very useful for you because you have no interest in such domain. So you need to understand that what is first your interest. Accordingly, you find out that what is the best university for you and top for you. Could be the Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon is the first rank university for computer science. Could be the top for you and top for, the program which you're interested in, and that too in your domain, in your interest. Okay. So there are 100 plus universities. I'm talking about the top ones where you can easily try and get the support from colleges. So those are merit scholarships. I will be giving you the idea that what tricks are there because there are many tricks that you'll have to apply. The first is how early you do the application, right? So the earlier the better for you to submit and to get the decision in your favor, because you feel relaxed for doing the other applications. But if you're doing the late application, if you're not been prepared with your documents, it means you're not just doing and delaying your decisions, right? You are delaying and getting the lower the chance of getting a scholarships also. So doing the first, that is the first hint I'll give you. Apart from that, the many hints are there that will help you to grab the opportunity to get the scholarship. Okay. The third is when they have no as such, the burden from any side. For them, there are multiple universities they can try when they will not have any other, the scholarship options, but they can go for the top universities. Now, coming to the second point of it, because see, that is where you're seeking the support, right? So the second part is where you are doing and you're helping your financials to lower down. Okay. First is आपको मिल गया सपोर्ट, मेरे पेरेंट्स ने दिया, जैसे आपके पेरेंट्स ने दिया, आपके गवर्नमेंट ने दिया, है ना, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने हेल्प कर दिया, यूनिवर्सिटी ने हेल्प कर दिया, ठीक है, थर्ड पार्टी ने हेल्प कर दिया, बैंक ने हेल्प कर दिया, किसी ने भी हेल्प कर दिया आपको, आपका बजट थोड़ा सा, आपका जो कॉस्ट है थोड़ा सा बजट में आ गया। बट आप ये तो सोचोगे जो कि इसके अलावा में मैं क्या कर सकता था। ठीक है, स्कॉलरशिप जो है वो अपफ्रंट मिलता है, इसके अलावा यूनिवर्सिटीज के पास और भी फाइनेंशियल एड्स होते हैं। You have to apply for them to get that support from the universities, and we cannot cover all the things because it's very, the big topic to discuss, right? But I'm giving you the glimpse here that first is the front support that you can get. The second one is that you apply to them and you get the support. Those are the financial aids that you get it from the university, professors, the third party, the private bodies. You still can get that such support apart from the education loan that you can easily get it on the base of the parents' profile and all that. So that is one. Apart from that, how you can, like कम कैसे कर सकते हो अपना खर्चा। तो आप जब स्टडी कर रहे हो, कम खर्चा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, तो ये आपको बेसिक टिप्स समझना पड़ेगा कि हाउ यू कैन मैनेज इट। तो वो फाइनेंशियल मैनेज करने के लिए आपको सबसे पहले जानना है कि आपको एक फैंसी हाउस में नहीं रहना है। ठीक है, सबसे पहले अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग देखनी पड़ेगी आपको, शेयर्ड हाउस देखना होगा, रूममेट्स आपको बनाने होंगे, कॉस्ट कम करना होगा, एडवांटेजेस इन सभी से लेने पड़ेंगे, आपको डिफरेंट डिस्काउंट्स पे तरफ जाना पड़ेगा। हो सकता है कि आपको ऑनलाइन अच्छा नहीं मिल रहा है, ऑफलाइन में एक फ्रेंड बता रहा है अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग के लिए, फूडिंग के लिए, you go for that discount there. I'm telling you, you could have that chance to save your 50% of your money, 50%. See, your phone and internet plans are there, right? So how you plan it? लोग से बहुत सारे बोलते हैं कि मुझे नहीं डिस्काउंटेड वाले नहीं चाहिए बिकॉज इसमें बहुत सारी चीज नहीं हो पाती है, बट once in a while you do that of any other utilization of those plans, right? So if you not have that of such plans, go for the discounted options of the phone and internet bills, right? Instead of just be going for that so many fancy things where you just get it that अच्छा ये सब हो जाता है, $50 महीने के लग रहे हैं, कोई ज्यादा नहीं है। But in that way, you could have chance to save your money. Let's say if $25 लग रहा है, तो $25 per month का saving तो है। In a way or other, it's a saving. पार्ट टाइम जॉब करके हो सकता है, आपको हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस मिलते हैं, आप इंडिया से ले गए, आपने वहां जाके लिया है, जमीन आसमान का अंतर दिख जाएगा हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस में, ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस में आपने कैसे क्या किया हुआ है। आपको फाइनेंशियल एड जैसे मैंने बताया वो आपको असिस्टेंस बहुत अच्छा करने वाला है। तो आपको टीए है, जीए है, आर ए, टीए स्टैंड फॉर टीचिंग असिस्टेंस, टीचर को असिस्टेंस करने के लिए मिलता है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, इसके अलावा जैसे आपने बोला कि मुझे पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं करना चाहूंगा, कुकिंग घर पे नहीं करना चाहूंगा, बट हाँ ये सब चीजें करते हो, शेयर्ड बुक को यूज करते हो, लाइब्रेरी को यूज करते हो, दैट वे यू कुड हैव दैट चांस टू अगेन यू लाइक $16,000, $20,000, मेरे अकॉर्डिंग वो $8 से $9,000, $10,000 हो जाएगा। तो आपका वो $6,000, $5,000 आराम से दिखता है। ठीक है, जिससे आप कुछ पैसे तो सेव कर पाते हो। नाउ कमिंग टू द अनदर पॉइंट जो मैंने बताया, पार्ट टाइम जॉब। पार्ट टाइम जॉब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है इस पूरे स्टडी अब्रॉड वाले डिस्कशन में। पार्ट टाइम जॉब मिलता है नहीं मिलता है, इस पे lot of discussions are happening, right? And people are making so many the YouTube videos and kind of the some of speak about is the like they get the the internships very easily, They got their, the job very easily. Some of speak about it. There's a lot of hue and cry, right? So there are mixed reactions, right? But how you do it, something that again I'm telling you, undergrad stage pay, if you're grooving yourself in that direction, you'll not face any kind of the music in the future. You'll have surely the jobs. You'll surely have the the internship opportunities. You'll surely have the part-time jobs, full-time jobs, because these are given to all childrens, all students, whosoever is going to any of these countries. Okay. Scholarship is given, the full scholarship, the grant is given by the Singapore government, and that too at the 100 level, right? So that again depends, what destination you target to. Uh, we have placed so many students with a zero tuition cost, right? We have been catering Germany now. So in Germany, that, most of the students are going for the free of cost. So it all depends. Again, on the very first stage, the selections makes everyone to understand that what would be your next step, what country, what university, and how you're gonna take the process forward. So this is where the smart students budget comes. And they just not help themselves, help their family to save their money, help, to go for the higher educations once again, because this is undergrad, this will be the master's one, you will surely think about masters. It's a market demand actually nowadays. 4 years, 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, you'll surely think about it to go for the MBA, masters, MS programs, right? So these are the things I'll tell you. There you can either save your money or you get your benefits. In both ways, you could have a chance that you can go for the financial aid.
Sir, I'm having one. Thank you so much for this, sir. I got a very brief idea about everything. But you mentioned, when you were talking about this financial aid, you mentioned about applying early. You mentioned, like, for undergraduate students should apply early. So I wanted to know that कि क्या क्या डेडलाइंस होती हैं, इज देयर कि कब अपन को अप्लाई करना चाहिए. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई एम 11th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट और 12th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट्स. ओके, तो इनको कैसे 12th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट को कब क्या प्रेपरेशन कर लेनी चाहिए, किस टाइम तक, फिर कब अप्लाई करना चाहिए इन टॉप यूनिवर्सिटीज के लिए या कोई भी बेटर एक कोर्स के लिए. अगर मैं कंप्यूटर साइंस की बात करूँ तो व्हेन शुड आई अप्लाई, इट इज द बेस्ट टाइम. इफ यू कैन जस्ट लेट अस नो अबाउट दैट.
Sure. So, in your case, I'll not be talking about the deadlines because you already completed your bachelor's. But yeah, if you're, like talking about our upcoming aspirants, right, who are looking to go abroad, especially for them when they are starting it, as I mentioned, it's a very easy to understand. The slogan is the earlier, the better, right? आप जितनी जल्दी समझते हो कि आपको क्या प्लान करना है, इतनी जल्दी आप जान जाते हो कि आपके प्रोफाइल में कौन से एडमिशन्स आने वाले हैं. ठीक है. हाउ गुड योर लाइक योर एकेडमिक्स आर, दैट समथिंग वी कैन नॉट चेंज. वी कैन नॉट फोर्स यू टू गो फॉर, लाइक से नहीं 90% तो लाना पड़ेगा, 100% तो लाना पड़ेगा. दिस इज समथिंग वी कैन नॉट फोर्स. दिस इज ऑफ योर चॉइस हाउ यू गेट इट राइट, बिकॉज आपकी स्टडी आप डिफाइन कर रहे हो और आप उस हिसाब से अपनी स्कोर्स को लेके आ रहे हो, है ना. बट जहां पे रोल प्ले करता है कि कब स्टार्ट करना चाहिए, तो अभी मैं बोलूं कि कोई 9th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट सुन रहा है तो मैं बोलूंगी कि उसको उस समय स्टार्ट करना चाहिए. कोई 10th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट सुन रहा है तो मैं उसको बोल रहा हूँ उस समय स्टार्ट करना चाहिए. कोई 11th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट सुन रहा है इसको, इस सेशन को, इस वेबिनार को, तो मैं बोलूंगा कि उसमें भी आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. बट डिफरेंसेस क्या आएंगे वो आप खुद देखोगे कि आपके प्रोफाइल में बहुत डिफरेंट दिखेगा. आपका प्रोफाइल जो है 9th क्लास में, आप ये सोचो कि आप क्या नहीं कर सकते हो. आप 9th क्लास में आपके पास वेकअप कॉल आ गया है. आप सोचो कि आप 9th क्लास के एक स्टूडेंट है, वो 10th क्लास की स्टडी को नहीं कंप्लीट कर सकता है, 11th क्लास से स्टडी कंप्लीट नहीं कर सकता है. उसको सिर्फ एक क्लासेस की जरूरत है, वो कंप्लीट कर सकता है. क्योंकि क्लासेस मोर और लेस सबके एक जैसे हैं और हमने जो बुक पढ़ा है सब एक जैसा होता है, तो उसमें कुछ ज्यादा चेंजेस नहीं है. बट 9th class onward, if anyone is active to go for the higher education and pretty aware of the all if and but, right? So for them it's just not the wake up call for them, right? It's the right time to start the study call कि मुझे बाहर जाना है. आई एम नॉट टेलिंग दैट 10वीं क्लास पास करने वाले बच्चों के लिए लेट हो गया या 11वीं वालों के लिए लेट हो गया है. 11वीं वाले में क्या है कि उन्होंने जो स्कूल में सीखा है, उन्होंने अपने हिसाब से जो प्रोफाइलिंग करी है, उसके बेस पे फिर हम लोग स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं काउंसलिंग। जैसे कि 11th में कोई स्टैंडर्ड में बच्चा आता है तो वो सिर्फ मेनली क्या फोकस कर रहा है, अपने सैट स्कोर को, अपने टेस्ट स्कोर को अच्छा करने का, अपने अपकमिंग स्कोर्स को अच्छा करने का, बट वो 9th 10th को स्कोर को चेंज नहीं कर सकता है। ठीक है, जो 9th 10th में वो एक्स्ट्रा कुछ कर सकता था वो नहीं कर सकता है। जो स्पोर्ट्स कैटेगरी में जा सकता था या कुछ वैसे एडिशनल अपने इंटरेस्ट को पैशन बना सकता था, वो नहीं कर सकता है। इसमें क्या पॉइंट मिलेगा, वो थोड़े 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 फिर घटते चले जाएंगे। But yeah, let's take an example because most of the students they get the wake up call once they start their original journey, once they like once they are in either in class 11th or completed the 11th. So for them I'll tell that कि उनके लिए 11th क्लास के बाद भी बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस हैं जो आपको मिलते हैं, और बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जिनको एडमिशन्स आते हैं। अब बात करते हैं एप्लीकेशन डेडलाइंस की, कि उन बच्चों को क्या 11th में एप्लीकेशन कर सकते हैं, नहीं कर सकते हैं। कोई भी स्टूडेंट है वो 12th का अपना एग्जाम, जो प्रोटेक्टेड वाला एग्जाम का हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिसमें आपका हो गया जो स्कूल जनरली लेता है हाफ ईयरली, या फिर हाफ ईयरली के बाद का एग्जाम जो स्कूल जनरली कंडक्ट करता है, तो उस एग्जाम्स में अपियर होना पड़ेगा, या उससे पहले भी, या तो स्कूल आपको एक ऑफिशियली प्रेडिक्टेड स्कोर दे देता है कि नहीं आपके स्कोर्स इतने आने वाले हैं 12th क्लास, तो वो आपका एक ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंट हो गया विच यू कैन यूज इट फॉर सबमिटिंग एप्लीकेशंस। नाउ कमिंग टू द डेडलाइन, बिकॉज एज वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट यूएस मोर, सो यहाँ पे यूएस की डेडलाइंस मुझे दिख रही है ज्यादा। अर्ली एक्शन, अर्ली डिसीजन, रेगुलर डिसीजन। सो अर्ली एक्शंस का मतलब ये यहाँ पे कि यूनिवर्सिटीज चाहती हैं कि आप जितना जल्दी एप्लीकेशन करो, सो दैट कि उनके यदि 120 सीट्स की एप्लीकेशन जो क्लास साइज है, तो इफ यू द अर्ली वन, उनको प्रोफाइल सेलेक्ट करने में सबसे पहले वो अपना डिसीजन सुना देंगे 1 महीने के अंदर में, 15 दिन के अंदर में। तो they have a different restrictions also within the colleges. So let's say in the Ivy colleges, they don't have that of early action opportunities for students. They have a early decision. So there are different type of deadlines in US. Even in the early, there are 4 5 kinds of the early restrictions. One is early action, second is early decision, restrictive early action, ED1, ED2, it's also get categorized, right? Special choice early action. So it's a 4 5 kind of universities policies for the deadlines. Uh, of course, you'll have to appear your SAT exam and AP's exam. AP you'll have to give like registered in the class 11th, so that you can take the exams in your the mid year of your class 12th. APs देने के बाद SAT you can give it any point of time before this September and October, so that you can directly apply to, you hit the application for the 1st November, because 1st of November in US is the crucial deadline for early rounds. 1st of November is most of them, they participate in the early round for the 1st of November, especially in the US. So Canada have a different deadline. UK have for Oxbridge, Oxford and Cambridge, they have a 15th October and 15th September. They usually like change their deadlines, but 15th September, 15th October is their deadlines for the first round. And then there is the regular rounds for UK is 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. Any of these dates, they have it in the month of January. So that is the deadlines for UK. So let's say आपने 3 4 कंट्री शॉर्टलिस्ट करी है, तो आपको अर्ली राउंड्स में नवंबर के टाइम पे आपको एप्लीकेशन सबमिट करना है, दैट टू अक्टूबर नवंबर में आपका एप्लीकेशन सबमिट हो जाना चाहिए। नवंबर में आपका अर्ली एक्शन का डेडलाइन, जो डिसीजन आपको 15 या 20 दिन 1 महीने के अंदर में आ जाता है। कमिंग टू द अर्ली डिसीजन वाला, अर्ली डिसीजन की डेडलाइंस भी सेम होती है, बट इसमें इसके कुछ अपने डिसीजन रिस्ट्रिक्शंस है। We can discuss in details once we'll have that of deadline, the webinar. But just to short this down, I'll tell you that these are the deadlines type. But yeah, you need to have your all documents and scores ready by the October. Let's say this October you have to be ready for the application for the next year class. Next year, next year admission are happening for like are happening and having of those submissions this year, 1st of November. Okay, I hope it is clear. It's
Yes,
a bit difficult to understand, but I know it's pretty daunting for everyone to, like understand. But I'll give you the better idea once we'll describe everything in detail. But yeah, you need to ready with your documents. That's very easy to understand. You need to be ready with your documents by October. First week of October, you'll have to be ready.
No, sir, thank you so much. Sir. We have covered a lot of the part of application part, these things, starting from the top universities, how we have to shortlist the country, the top university, then the course, then what are the financial help we can get a scholarship and how we can manage the finances, what are the application deadlines. So I guess overall, in a brief, it is covered. And I can understand that this is a very long process, yet easy, but yeah, it is a long process, and everyone needs a guidance on this, okay, an expert guidance, like you mentioned about all the things you mentioned in some points you mentioned, like I'm explaining this in brief and we'll connect later on, because like for earlier decisions and when we were talking about scholarship part and everything. So like how Allen Global, sir, like how Allen Global is assisting students, कैसे हम help करते हैं Allen Global में, आप कैसे help करते हैं बच्चों को ये पूरे एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस में, जहाँ से आप बच्चों को यूनिवर्सिटीज बताते हैं, है ना, और irrespective to the classes, like you mentioned, like 9 से start कर देना चाहिए बच्चों को, okay, तो जैसे 9 में है, 11 10th 11 12th में, तो how Allen Global is helping in all these things, how you are helping as a counselor to students, you can just let us know about this.
Sure. सो जैसे हमने बात किया कि हर एक स्टेप में कुछ ना कहीं चैलेंज है ना. Through and through, you'll have to have of back and forth. I'll say, like you'll have to get that of official, someone who is very seasoned in this all process, right? Uh, I'm not telling that, like the online, so many, the informations are available, right? It's available everywhere. Uh, but how authentic those are, that is very important for you to understand. So very first is that we are going to handhold, right? Through and through, it will be hand-holding process where the expert will just not stop you doing that, will tell you that what exactly you should do, right? So it's not about that, should I appear for the SAT twice? If it is not required and your SAT is already, let's say, the 1480 or 1500, why are you thinking of re-attempting it just for the sake of getting off additional 20 or 30 marks, right? So it doesn't make a lot of senses, and where the experts help, right? The expert guidance will be right from the very first day, that what should you do, what should you not do, that is something is given, and that is not restricted by the one person. So it will be, like given by the all experts whosoever will be assigned to the students. So as per my knowledge, there are 5 to 6, the person gets assigned, right? So one help for, through and through the entire process, one help for the profile building, one help for, like with the quick questions, one give the proper help for the documentations where SOP, editing, the editors gets assigned, visa team gets assigned. So like, like there are multiple persons gets involved in the one process in the student journey, right? So the expert guidance is not just by the one guy, one person. It's the expert in that domain is giving the guidance. Okay. Test preparation is one thing, that is the another factor where your profile is getting built up by us. Okay. So giving the test classes just not restricted with the one subject, right? We have multiple AP subject, the faculties. So AP को देके कितना फायदा होता है, ये मैं आपको बताऊं कि एक सेमेस्टर बचाने तक का फायदा है. जस्ट आपको सिर्फ यहाँ पैसा नहीं बचता होगा, आपका एक हेडेक भी बचेगा कि आपको शुरू में जाते जाते पढ़ाई करने का इतना फोकस नहीं है. आप थोड़े से नंबर कम भी ला रहे हो, 3.2 3.4, तो भी आपको ना यूनिवर्सिटी कुछ नहीं बोलेगी, ठीक है? तो आपको एक जो उनका मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट है इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, इतना स्कोर होना ही चाहिए, ठीक है? उसके लिए इतना प्रेशर नहीं आएगा. तो दैट इज वेयर द एपी प्लेज इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, just not for the selection purpose, like helping the lowering the tuition cost also. So test preparation for APs, test preparation for SAT, test preparation for IELTS and TOEFL, these all we cover in the one roof. Okay, and all faculties are available. with a, the SAT score of 1600 for the, I guess, so, like 100 plus students. It's not restricted again with the test preparation. So once your test preparation journey is over, application assistance gets started from there. So one is helping you with the university selection, one is doing with your quality check, one is helping you with your, the application filing review and everything, right? So the 3% is assisting you through with the application assistance, right? That is there. Now coming to the financial aid, there's a separate application for the each universities and for each countries. Let's say for US, there's a CSS profiling happens, right? So CSS profiling is not that, the one page application. It's a filthy big page, the 20 pages of applications where you need to understand exactly what exactly they are asking you to submit. You know that what is a financial document to submit. You surely have that of 2 years of the ITR, but what ITR pages has to be uploaded? It should be the very first page or the last page or the all 20 pages or the 10 pages, all 5 pages, or what exactly is required. That support you need to get it from the someone who is expert in filing your CSS application. Okay. Once you'll have the offer, once you'll need the support from the, let's say you need to get that of some support, from the bank, you want to apply for the education loan, you still have that options to contact to us. We will be helping you reaching out to, those, uh, the financial advisors who can assist you in taking loans, and that too at a lower rate. Okay. Nothing is guaranteed, but yes, this is something that we can do is do the best to get the entire service at the one place. All right. Visa guidance, visa preparation, interview preparation, visa documentation, pre-departure support. This is all given, in the process. Okay. And this is very important because you're the one who are inexperienced in this, the visa thing and all that. So you will be seeking the assistance. Sir, मेरे पास checklist है, but documents में क्या है, इसको एक बार आप go through कर सकते हो. And वो एक go through करना is giving that of very strong signal that your chances of getting visa are now high, right? So that support is given by us. So I'm just trying to summarize it. It's the one place where you will get the all assistance. It's a one, the roof where you're coming for the expert guidance, but you're, flying from here with the aim of joining your own dream university. So this is what exactly the Allen Global Division, assist with.
Thank you so much, sir. I guess there are certain questions students have asked us in the Q&A session while we were taking these slides. So what I will do is that I'll quickly I make sure that I'll complete all the queries. I guess there are 7 queries. I guess few of the students have asked like there's one Siddhi has asked what is LOR. So it is letter of recommendation, Siddhi. And there's one question which has been asked from one of the student. He's asking, sir, what is the 12th certificate and predicted or half yearly question? I guess. So I guess he has asked, वो आपने बताया था कि 12th स्टैंडर्ड में जो अपना 12th में जो अपन बच्चा होता है जब उसको एप्लीकेशन करना होता है तो कौन सा एग्जाम तक वो होता है जब अपन प्रेडिक्शन स्कोर दिखाते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज को.
करेक्ट. सो हाफ ईयरली एग्जाम जनरली हर एक स्कूल नहीं कंडक्ट करता है, और कुछ स्कूल्स हैं जो हाफ ईयरली लेते हैं, कुछ स्कूल हैं तो डायरेक्टली आपका जो प्रिडिक्टेड ऑफर कर सकते हैं, और डायरेक्टली आपको जो है वो 12th का प्रिडिक्टेड स्कोर शेयर करते हैं, जिसमें आपका स्कूल बताता है कि 100 में कितने नंबर मिल रहे हैं आपके सब्जेक्ट्स में. वो सर्टिफिकेट यू विल नॉट गेट, बिकॉज 12th का सर्टिफिकेट यू विल एक्चुअली नॉट गेट, बिकॉज 12th आपने पास नहीं किया है तो आपको सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिलेगा. 10th का सर्टिफिकेट यू विल गेट इट, राइट, बिकॉज आपको डायरेक्टली वो सीबीएसई या फिर आपके डीजी लॉकर में आपको सेव हो जाता है, आप सेव कर सकते हो. बट 12th का सर्टिफिकेट यू विल नॉट गेट इट, बट द प्रेडिक्टेड यू कैन रिक्वेस्ट इट फ्रॉम योर स्कूल कि आइदर आप हाफ ईयरली स्कोर कार्ड मुझे दे दो कि मेरा स्कोर कैसा चल रहा है या फिर मेरे प्रोग्रेस कैसे चल रहे हैं. ये स्कूल के टीचर बताते हैं कि आपका स्कोर 100 में कितना आ सकता है, एंड दैट प्रेडिक्टेड वी यूज इट फॉर सबमिशन, for especially for the early round applications.
Okay, there's one more question, sir. This is the anonymous attendee. was asked us that, sir, please reply if I don't give JE but prepared for SAT. Is that a good option? I scored 78% in ninth and 85% in class 10th. So I guess
You do good in class 11th and class 12th. If you're not been very good in your JE, still I'm telling you that you go for the SAT, you surely would have really good admits even with the 78% in your ninth and 85 in your 10th. But yeah, if you're in class 11th right now, you start the process of, like making your profile, because profile has to be builded by you, either you or you get some, the assistance. Because a lot of things you will have to do to make your profile for the study abroad. With these scores, yes, what I can see here is progression in your, scores. In your class 9th, it was 78, it's 85, it's your, class 10th. I feel it that you'll surely do good in your 11th and 12th. And I feel it that appearing for, the SAT would be really helpful for you.
I guess we have covered all the queries, sir, in this webinar, starting from the application process, the selecting the university course and everything. There are a few more questions of the students, but I guess we are running out of time. So I guess मैंने सभी students को I just wanted to inform that I messaged you our contact number in the chat box. Any other questions you have apart from these topics or what we have covered, so you can directly contact us on the given contact number, and we'll assist you with all your queries, okay, related to study abroad, related to selecting universities, scholarships, internships, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So, and here, if you want, if you want, you can scan our QR also on the given shared screen. You can note down our contact number over there, and we are also available on social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can follow us for more detailed information on daily basis, information about studying abroad, what new is coming on daily basis. Okay, we are posting for students, undergraduate students over here. So you can follow us on the channels. You can stay tuned for the next webinars with us. Okay, when you follow, you'll get a notification from our part. Okay, you can get in touch with us for more details. I guess chat box, everyone, chat box is available. You can note down our contact number. You can connect with our counselor. Our counselor will pick up the call. He will be there on the call. He'll answer all your queries. Okay, if you want, we can also connect you with our expert country counselors like Sujin and his respective countries. Okay, because we are covering, I guess, 5 countries: UK, USA, Singapore, Germany, and Canada. Okay, so if you want, you can connect with us, okay, for related to your queries. So we wrap up this webinar, this informative webinar. This was really nice to have you, sir. The informations you have shared, I guess it is very well aware, but like it was very nice and very informative about for the students also. I also got to know many things about top universities, the funda of application, the letters, like documentation, deadlines, and everything. So I hope everyone is clear. If not clear, connect with us. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. See you in the next webinar. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.